Hey Wildcats, we are here today to announce the winners for November, and we'll start like we always do with our Service Above Self, which goes to one third grader who goes above and beyond to help others and to think about others. And just a reminder that our Service Above Self is sponsored by our Rotary Club, so we always thank them for their sponsorship. So this month's recipient for the Service Above Self is Mario Vila. Congratulations to Mario. Our next awards are our Wildcats of the Month, which we give out to third, second, and first graders. And they are sponsored by our Harrisonville Police Department, so we thank them for their sponsorship. So we will start with first grade, and our first grade Wildcats of the Month are Raylan Linder and Jackson Parkhurst. Our second grade Wildcats of the Month are Millie Wolf and Bentley Johnson. And finally, our third grade Wildcats of the Month are Zoe Angel and Javriel Burserwell. I apologize for that. So congratulations to those students. And finally, our Counselor Award of the Month, which either myself or Mrs. Sumner gives to a classroom here at HES that demonstrates good cooperation and kindness and respect towards each other. We always pick one class every month. So for this month's recipient, it is the first grade class of Mrs. Maxwell.
Hi HES Wildcats, it's time for our November Awards Assembly. I'm going to tell you about our Character Trait Awards. The Character Trait Awards are given to 2 students chosen by their classroom teacher who have exhibited self-control during the month of November. The recipients always make great decisions, show restraint, and are examples for their peers. Congratulations to our Character Award winners for November: Olivia Talbert, Alex Hunter, Annalise Reish, Archer Barnes, Avery Carroll, Keaton Donnelly, Michaela Coffey, Bo Jones, Jeremiah Jenkins, Charlotte Dean, Jade Hendren, Jack O'Connell, Lily Osterloh, Christopher Randazzo, Harper Shoemaker, Kaylin Holt, Nash Burslovich, Alyssa O'Connor, Savannah Carver, Henry Knox, RJ Pruitt, Nick Patrick, Skylar Harris, Ashton Smith, McKinley Marriott, Bentley Litchfield, Grace Malone, Araya Ray, Andreas Lamelli, Kinsley Dunbar, Nolan Hartzell, McKenna Lewis, Bo Starforth, Lana Pendleton, Caleb Vanalist, Amora Nims, Jackson Dunn, Abigail Rose, Wyatt Butler, Araya Johnson, Marcus McCain, Elena Gutierrez Young, Jonathan Guzman, Dane Clausen, and Maylee Schleem. Congratulations.
Good morning, Wildcats. It's Mr. Schrout here to announce the Mathematician of the Month. This award is given to one student chosen by their classroom teacher that has done an outstanding job within math over the past month. Whether in class participation, assignments, or practice, they have gone above and beyond what is expected to achieve more in math. Today, we're presenting awards for our November mathematicians. Congratulations! Ron Hall, Eris Shreve, Rylan Horn, Rooney Julian, Piper Deerdorf, Remington Larkham, Parker Jackson, Lana Stevens, Case Ballantyne, Christian Everhart, Ryan Schooler, Caden Bowers, Adeline Cheney, Marley Courtney, Weston Blake, Mac Henderson, Eddie Freeland, Eliana Evans, Dawson Babb, Lily Sharp, Laz Bollinger, and Everett Holbrook. Good job, guys.
Hello, Wildcats. This is Mrs. Lahman from the library, and the class I chose for this for the library award does an amazing job when they come into the library. I'm always excited to have them in the library. They are so kind and respectful to me and their classmates. And this week, almost everybody had their books turned in, which is a bonus for me and for them because everybody gets to check out books. So my choice is Mr. Barasco's third grade class. Congratulations.
Hi there, Wildcats and Wildcat families. I'm so excited to be coming to you today to share with you some more exciting music awards for the month of November. And I'm going to start first today with our class awards. I've got some students who have been working really hard that earned the most stickers on our Bravo board this month. And for third grade, the winner is Mrs. Hopper's class. In second grade, the winner is Mrs. Hastings' class. And in first grade, the winner is Mrs. Cooper's class. Congratulations and thanks for working so hard in the music room. Next, I'd like to present each of our individual Music Star Awards to individual students from each class who have been proving to be good musicians and display Wildcat behavior. So I'm going to start with our third graders. In Mrs. Brown's class, congratulations to Allison Hall. In Mr. Barasco's class, Farrell Johnson. In Mrs. Comfort's class, Michaela Coffey. In Mrs. Hammond's class, Harper Shoemaker. In Miss Hassick's class, Naomi Gaskins. In Mrs. Hawkins' class, Bowen Horton. And in Mrs. Hopper's class, Cameron Woolberg. Now for our second grade music stars. In Mrs. Durnell's class, Charlotte Arnold. In Miss Harrigan's class, Nash, and Nash, I'm probably not going to say your name right, but I think you're the only Nash in the school, so you know who you are. And then Mrs. Hastings' class, Cora Hawkins. In Mrs. Holman's class, David Grave. In Mrs. Knight's class, Grant Conriff. In Mrs. Siegenthaler's class, Melena McCubbin. In Mrs. Studley's class, Harper Chenoweth. And now for our first grade music stars. In Mrs. Brown's class, Lena Howard. In Mrs. Cooper's class, Piper Deerdorf. In Mrs. Florence's class, Raylan Linder. In Mrs. Jackson's class, Cassidy Irvin. In Ms. Maxwell's class, Blake Taylor. In Mrs. Mitchell's class, Addison Doherty. In Mrs. Peterson's class, Wyatt Bird. And in Mrs. Snyder's class, Lazarus Bollinger. Good job, Wildcat music stars.
Hello HES, Coach Thorpe here. I am going to announce our sportsmanship class winner and individual award winners. Our class is Miss Jackson. Good job, guys. You did so good showing your sportsmanship. Our first graders are Ava Baldwin and Kendall Vilas. Congratulations. Second grade, Casey Kanoy and Duke Baldwin. Very good job. And third grade is going to be Genevieve Oldham and Cash DeShazer. Yes. Have a great day.
Hi Wildcat family, it's Mrs. Henderson, and I'm happy to announce the Art in the Community artist from last month. For third grade, we had these beautiful radial designs of shapes of student choices. The leaf was a popular shape to use, and we used oil pastel to create different techniques and high contrast. And in first grade, we did Lines Make Shapes, non-objective art, where the student had to draw a variety of lines. They actually used a penny and took their penny for a walk as they traced the path of the penny, looking at vertical, diagonal, and horizontal, and noticing that lines make shapes. And sometimes our shapes don't have names, so freeform shapes were a focus and good coloring technique. Thank you, third grade and first grade artists. Trip Williams from third grade, Tyson Phillips, Alik Dunham, Austin Houston, Caleb Ritter, Brantley Harrell, Sadie Jones, Matthew Inky, Jesse Franklin, Wyatt Motzkus, Emmeline Woolery, Kaylin Holt, Will Miller, and Harper Shoemaker. Nice work, third grade artist. First grade artists today, we had George Wyatt on display, Gannon Dobniker, Adeline Burkett, Dallas Alley, Wyatt Bird, Alea Stout, Dominic Harlman, Raylan Rogers. We also had Lily Thomas, Caleb V, Waylon Burnett, Lana Pendleton. We also had Lakin Dunsmore Walker, Stevie Oden, Nicholas Miller, and Finn Parkhurst. Nice work, first grade. As far as the art room class award winner, I wanted to give a big shout out to Mrs. Hastings' second grade group. These kids have came to art and had to deal with some unusual circumstances, but they've always shown up and have done their very best. We're working really hard still, but I just want to say thank you so much to Mrs. Hastings' second grade artist. Have a great day.